Hi guys! So today is my first ever video on this channel. I used to have a channel with my friend, but that wasn't working out. So I decided to make my own channel, and I'm super excited because it's finally December, and December means Christmas, and I love Christmas. So I thought a good video would be to show you DIY Christmas room decor, and I absolutely love everything I did, so I really hope you guys like it too. And yeah, so let's get started. The first thing I like to do in my room is I hang fairy lights or Christmas lights. And to make it even more Christmassy, I'm just taking some snowflake decorations. You can pick any decorations you want. I just chose these because they were lying around my house. And I just hung them up, and when I turn the lights on, it looks so pretty, and it just makes my room feel so much more inviting and comforting. Sorry about that. And of course, what's Christmas without a Christmas tree? I'm just taking this little 1.5 foot tall white Christmas tree and putting it on my dresser. And I'm just taking these white lights that are actually really cool. They just look like glue dots, but they light up. I was like so shocked when I saw them. And I just strung them around my tree, and the best part is they're battery powered, so they don't need to be plugged in. And then after that, I'm just taking these little blue and silver and white decorations, and there's like matte, shiny, sparkly, there's a whole variety of them, and I'm just hanging them on my tree however I decided to do it. You guys can do it however you want, but this is just how I did it. And today I'm absolutely in love how it turned out. And for the floating shelf above my Christmas tree, I just took some fake snow and put it along the top. And I took some like tinsel stuff, I'm not sure what you call it, and put it around the edges. And then for the shelf, I'm putting this little tinsel Christmas tree that I actually made myself. This little stuffed animal snowman and a snowman candle. If you want to learn how to make this tinsel tree, all you're going to need is a cereal box, some tinsel, hot glue, and a few decorations. So pretty much with the cereal box, you're just going to want to roll it into a cone like the shape of a Christmas tree, and then hot glue it in place. And I apologize for the lighting, it's really dark, but I really want to get the video done for you guys. And then after, I'm taking a pair of scissors and cutting off the bottom so it'll actually stand up straight. This DIY is so easy to do, like it looks so sophisticated, but it was so easy to do. All you're doing is taking hot glue and putting like a blob or a strip of it, and then taking the tinsel garland, that was the word I was looking for, and just making a strip of hot glue, sticking the tinsel garland on there, and just letting it dry, and you're just doing that all the way up until you get to the very, very top. And guys, since this is a new channel, it would mean the absolute world to me if you go and subscribe down below or even like it. And make sure to leave any comments saying like other videos you want to see. And I didn't mention this earlier, but I'm going to be trying to post 1 to 2 times a week for you guys. So I really, really hope you guys stick around and try to join my YouTube family. And once you guys are done, if you have like any excess tinsel garland, just cut it off and just leave it like that, And an optional step that I'm doing is I'm taking some hot glue and some decorations, and I'm just gluing the decorations onto the tree to make it look more like realistic. And then I just put it on my shelf, my desk, and it just looks so pretty. I absolutely love it, and I'm sorry I use so pretty a lot, like I really need to stop. And then back to my floating shelf. Just on the other corner, I put up my E.T. from Universal Studios, and he just has a Santa hat and some garland around him to make it look like a scarf. This Be Jolly penguin sign from the dollar store, and another matching snowman candle. And for the center of my shelf, I'm just taking these 2 little reindeers that I found at the dollar store, put a Christmas ball in them, and just set them up like that. And then these 2 really cute little stockings, and I just put them behind there to add a bit more detail. And for the jar that you saw in the middle, it's really easy to do. All you're going to need is some pine cones. I just found mine outside, some white paint, and a sponge. In case you're wondering why the pine cones are already painted, my camera died while I was painting that, so I apologize. But I'm just going to show you guys the gist of it. Just take the paint the edges, make it look like snow, or like try make it look like snow. Not very realistic. And once it dries, it just looks like this, and it's super pretty. I absolutely love it. And I made a whole bunch of them, and all I'm doing is I'm taking this glass jar I got at the dollar store for $1 and filling it up with pine cones and decorations, just making like a little centerpiece for my shelf. And I really love how it turned out. It was super easy to do, and it cost me like $2 at the most. So I really hope you guys do this too, and if you do it, I'm super happy to use one of my DIYs. And that's the finished product. And for the next DIY with pine cones, you're just going to need pine cones, yarn, hot glue, and some bows. So really all you're doing is taking a blob of glue on the string and then sticking the pine cone on it and letting it dry. And then after you let all the pine cones dry onto the string, on the top of the pine cone you're just going to want to put another blob of glue and then put a bow. I decided to use a silver bow here, but I kind of did like a silver red pattern as you can see in the next screen, like right here. And I'm just finishing that off. I just decided to do 5 pine cones. You guys can do as many as you want. It's up to you guys. But this reached about 1.5 meters, so that was good for me. You can see that silver and red pattern I did again, and I just let it dry, and then I took it into my room and hung it above this like picture collage I have, and I just hung it up with a thumbtack. It was the easiest way I could think of, and it really Christmasized, that is a word that I just made up, my room, because that wall was really plain, and it's super pretty, I think. I really hope you guys like it too. And on my nightstand, I just took off my lamp and put up this little snowman Christmas tree light up thing. And for the next DIY, the last DIY actually, you'll need candy canes, paper, yarn, and tape. So you're going to need 20 candy canes to be precise. You're going to be taking 2 candy canes, taking a piece of tape, you put them back to back, and you tape them together. I just taped one side, flipped it over, taped the other side. You guys can do it whichever way works best for you. And I'm sorry my camera actually focused on the carpet instead of the candy canes. Yeah. After you've done that with all 20 candy canes, you should have 10 pairs of candy cane things like this, and you're really just going to stick them together to make like a heart in the center, and you're just putting them all the way around until you create like this circle and making it a wreath. Yeah, I forgot to mention this is actually going to be a wreath. So after I laid it out the way I wanted, I just took a blob of hot glue and put it on the end and glued it together. And it also doesn't matter if like the bottom of the candy canes just line up, as long as it looks like a heart and turns into like a circle, it should be good. And I forgot to film the next part, but with the 2 pieces of paper, I just took them and cut them into 2 circles, and I left one of them blank, and the other one I wrote Merry Christmas. I glued the blank one onto the back, and then I glued the one that says Merry Christmas on the front. I just put a bunch of hot glue around it and then just stuck it on. After it dried, I just hung it above my floating shelf, and this was definitely the easiest DIY to do. And my favorite part about it is that after Christmas, you can take it down and eat all the candy canes, because I don't know about you, but I absolutely love candy canes. They're like my Christmas obsession. That brings us to the end of my very first video. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. And as you can tell, all the DIYs are really easy to do and super cheap. Even the stuff that weren't DIYs are really easy to recreate. So if you liked it, please subscribe and like down below. It would mean a lot to me. And until next time, lots of love, Marlet.